Great. Well, I'm so glad you are here and you're able to tell some stories with us. So just for the record, could you state your name and your class just so that we know when we're going back to write the story?
My class is 1959. My name is Ronnie Goings, G-O-I-N-G-S. They also call me Butch.
So what, when you think of Grady and your time in high school, what is, I guess, the first thing that comes to mind?
Friends.
Friends? That's great.
Friends from Samuel Inman, and friends from the neighborhood, and many friends that I still love today.
That's great. Do you have any specific memories that you had with your friend that you think back on any specific time?
Too many.
Too many?
But I mean, the specifics were the gentleman that you're going to interview next, Billy Hedgepeth. He and I were young boys, and he lived across the street, and I lived on Mintel Drive, and we got together and we broke a window out, and our mothers got real mad and made us take tap and ballet with Lottie Henschel.
Oh my gosh.
Which was fun. So many memories of Grady High School and the teachers, and the feelings and the emotions. And I think the last great memory of Grady High School was graduation night at the Old City Auditorium. I think it was on June the 1st to June the 3rd, 59. And the last thing that was sung, and it stays in my head today, is when you walk through a storm, keep your head up high. And when you live as long as I've lived, you go through many storms, but I've always kept my head up high. And that's what Grady brought to me. It made a good person out of me, because my parents came from rural areas, and my dad was a full-blooded Cherokee Indian, and he was in the war Pacific in the Marine Corps, and I didn't see him until in 1946 when he came home, and hadn't seen him in 4 years. And my mother and my sister and I lived in Techwood Homes. And he bought my mother a house over here, which was a predominantly Jewish neighborhood. And I've learned to just love the people I embrace.
That's great. So what sort of activities did you get involved with here?
I played football. I was small when I started, but Coach Erskine Russell put me on a weightlifting program. And our weights used to be in the old gym behind the curtains. And I wrestled. I boxed in the Golden Gloves.
Wow.
I had a lot of fun. We had social clubs. Our social club was called the Gents, G-E-N-T-S. And we were famous for being the heck raisers of the time. We had a lot of fun doing that. Dancing was my hobby. I danced the night away and still can do it.
Nice.
Not as good as I used to. But we had wonderful dances after the football games. We had wonderful proms. I was a member of D. Malay, which we had proms there. And I had a lot of girlfriends. And I still think about them. I married a girl named Jane Rash, who I started the kindergarten with at Inman, and we married right out of high school. I divorced her 20 years later. Remarried her about 8 months later, divorced her again. Now she's my best friend. She's my wife's best friend now. I have 6 children, 7 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. Wow. My oldest daughter's 58. And life has been very good to me. And the reason I'm sitting right here talking to you right now is because my second home was Grady High School. There wasn't a better. I had 2 great homes. My home with my parents and the Grady High School home. The principals, the administrators, the teachers, they were tough, they were good. You'd get angry at them, but that was life, you know. And I grew up under a Marine, and I learned that you had to listen to your commanders, so to speak. But Grady's always been fun. I went to the football game last night. Just 2 of us came from the 59 class. I was disappointed. And last year I came down to the playoff game that they lost, unfortunately. and I met with a guy named Jerry Smith, who works for Atlanta Public Schools in the Capital Improvements Program, and he graduated from Grady. He's a lot younger than I am. So I keep up with Grady, but I live in Roswell, and I don't get to Atlanta that much. But I think it's great. Oh, we came to the Grease play.
Oh, I was in that.
Yeah,
I applaud that.
Yeah.
That was, and was you in Grease?
I was.
Was you really? What did you play?
I was Sandy.
Really? Well, hallelujah. Well, Billy Hedgepeth spoke at that, before that. He'll be in here in a minute. And, we loved Grease. I mean, I just
I'm
couldn't.
so glad.
I couldn't say enough about it. You know, Myron Woodard, who really wrote it, in my opinion. There was a boy, the other guy said, but Myron was the main man. He was Bronte Woodard when he went to California. His sister, Joy, and my sister were very best friends. But Grease was one of my favorites, and I'm glad we came. I haven't been to any more, though, and I feel ashamed of that. But Grady had great halls, noise. We had the kids smoking down at one end of the steps. We had the snack bar. We had the lunchroom. You know, we had so many things that you grew up in Grady. The biggest thing I remember about Grady was when I left Inman in the 7th grade, and I was a little old bitty guy. And my first day walking in Grady High School and seeing those halls, and we were up on the 3rd floor. The 8th grade was on the 3rd floor, and seeing all those people. And I had a pair of blue jeans on from Sears with the cuffs rolled up and some black high-top tennis shoes and a t-shirt, and seeing all those cool guys walking around with their pleated Oxford pants and their saddle Oxfords on. I said, wow, I want to look like that someday. But the fears went away after the friends all gathered. It was really good. We had the Jewish community in Grady, and they were just the greatest people in the world. We had the Greek contingency here. They were wonderful. About many friends, and it was fun.
I'm so glad.
Anything else you want to ask me?
Well, I think that's about it. I mean,
Oh,
we're running out of time because everyone's going to Park
that was
Tavern
so much
in a
great
while.
Stuff.
I mean,
I don't know if we can get any better than
Yeah,
that.
we really
honestly.
can.
Those
I
were
mean-
great
This
stories.
is Ronnie Goings over and out.